Previously on the Cinesin Show.
Hello, everybody out there. Happy Horror Friday. I'm Isabela Rangel.
And I'm Richard Burgin.
Today, we will talk about Stranger Things, first season. Created by the Duffer Brothers, Stranger Things is a science fiction horror TV show. Set in the 80s, this TV show talks about the residents of the fictional town Hawkins, Indiana.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of strange things happen in Hawkins, Indiana, as you could guess from the title. And it's very close to the alternate universe, the Upside Down.
Oh, yeah. And tonight we have our guest,
Patrick Boggs of the True Fiction podcast.
So, have you talked to other people when Stranger Things came out, were you in Brazil?
I was already here, I think. Yeah, but I've talked to a lot of people. Yeah.
And
they are big fans in Brazil too.
That's cool. That
yeah.
Gotta mean a lot to people that made it.
Definitely. No, it's and that's something really nice about living in the 21st century in 2023 is that we can truly reach people pretty much anywhere in the world now with anything you create, which is pretty amazing, and there's a lot of competition for getting attention, like on TV and the internet, but it's also, it can play to anywhere in the world. These barriers are breaking down.
Yeah, you can reach all the audiences.
Oh, yeah. And everyone could feel a little bit of nostalgia for Stranger Things, even if you didn't grow up in America in the 80s, because people in other countries have been exposed to this stuff too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I think it's a kind of I don't know. We do a lot of things like in the 70s, we were looking back to the 20s. And so a lot of the styles,
like Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of those styles came back, that were there, that not the real curly, flat waves, but a lot of the women's styles were back. They had the maxi dresses, those really long dresses. So it's interesting how we, I think it's because we, sometimes when we live through something, we start, getting very, start remembering the fond things. We kind of forget the bad things.
Dark side, like AIDS.
Yeah, exactly.
And all the serial killers in the 70s.
Yeah. No, remember that we were talking about how it's going to be 2070.
Oh, yeah.
We were
the
wondering,
2070s, what that's going to be like.
Like the 1970s. We don't know.
We don't know, yeah.
How it's going to be.
But one thing you do know is they're probably going to be celebrating a time before that, like the 2040s or something like that, or maybe us.
Maybe they'll be celebrating the current era.
It's true.
I don't see what they would be celebrating, but they'll think of something about why 2023 was, the best year.
Yeah.
It's a pretty crazy year, that's for sure. But you know what? The next year may be even crazier, and we won't even think about this one. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm hoping next year will be a lot crazier, like in a good way.
Well,
the pandemic, it was like already very crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody expected
Nobody's going to have pandemic nostalgia.
No.
Never.
No. It's weird now when you look back on that. It really is a thumbtack in the time, It's like, this is definitely something that I think the only good thing about it is it's something that we all experience together.
That's true.
Yeah.
It brought us together while being forced to be apart.
Yeah. Yeah. The pandemic was crazy.
Yeah. And I did my first interview with you, Patrick, during the pandemic. I remember that was when I optimistically thought I would have Fang finished sometime during the pandemic, but it gave me something to do working on this movie.
Maybe it would be short. the pandemic. Everybody thought it would be just like 1 month thing.
Yeah,
2 months thing.
I was hoping it was going to be
Yes.
like for like a week or two, like the shutdown.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, it's just going to be a month. Okay, it's just going to be 2 months. It's just going to be 3 months, right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I was, so my position, I was working from home, and the weird thing was, we basically had to transition from live classrooms to actual online. Not that we weren't already doing online, but we had to do virtual. And so we had a lot more work to do. And so when you're at home, like when you work in a place and you leave, okay, at this time I get to go home. But when you're working from home, that time never
Oh, yeah.
comes.
Yeah.
And a bunch of us suffered some real burnout from that because
That sucks.
we didn't
Yeah.
shut off. We just didn't shut off, and we didn't, it was crazy, so.
No, I remember like in the days like up until the premiere of Fang, I was, working really hard to make sure the movie was finished and it was edited as well as it could possibly be. And I would wake up in the morning like at 7 or 8 a.m. and then I would just keep working nonstop. And then eventually I would look at the time and I'd be like, oh, it's like 3 or 4 in the morning now.
Wow.
And I've been working on this continuously all day, tinkering with the movie.
Wow.
This is the non-glamorous side of filmmaking, kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember like people desperate. People were just so desperate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was trying to be calm, but seeing other
No,
people
Isa's a
desperate.
good sport, and she was trying to stay calm with me too during some of my more stressful moments. She can be very sweet and supportive.
That's probably helped a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because if everybody gets desperate, then it's not going to take anywhere.
No, that makes things worse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you have to have that yin and yang or it's not going to work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your favorite scene in Stranger Things?
I don't know if it was my favorite scene, but one of the scenes that I don't think I'll ever forget was the and I can't remember her name, but I know Isabel, you know it. It's
Okay.
the girl that went over into the upside down. And she wasn't like a super popular girl. She had red hair and the big glasses.
Barbara.
Barbara.
Mhm.
Yes, it was Barbara.
Mhm.
And them finding her, just that was rough, when they found her. And I think something came out of her mouth too that I'm thinking about. Something showed where she was not alive anymore, not good.
Oh.
And that one, I will say this. I think the reason I liked it or it affected me is because I didn't know they would go there. I didn't know they would take it that far.
Mhm.
And I just, to be honest, I'm glad they did. I want to feel when I watch something, a show, a movie,
Yeah.
series.
Makes
Absolutely.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to feel it. So yeah. And they did a good job of it.
Oh yeah.
I don't think a
No,
lot of it
it's
was
very
telegraphed.
involved, and with the characters and
The
what
characters,
happens to
yep.
them, it's very compelling.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then the last season, the way they show Vecna, I really like that episode, like showing who he is. I don't remember which number it was, but I mean that was the best episode for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Isa wanted to meet Vecna.
Yeah, it was very, very cool that they showed, everything. And he was that guy that was in the lab with her and the whole story. And the actor is actually really good. I know his name is something Bowie. I don't know. Do you know the name of the actor?
I don't.
Yeah.
No relation to David Bowie.
No. But his last name is Bowie, and he's pretty good. Yeah.
I thought he did a good job. I didn't realize that it was him behind the makeup too. So that I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, they did a very good job with the makeup in this last season, And she, Millie Brown, she didn't shave the head. That is all makeup.
Oh, is it makeup?
Yes.
Oh, I can always tell when somebody's wearing a wig or not. She has great wig sets.
No. But even for me, I would think she shaved the head because I know in the first season she did.
Okay.
So they tricked you. They made you think she shaved it.
The makeup. Yeah.
That's cool.
That was pretty good. And they were very scared, the actors, during the filming.
Really?
During the filming. So that's how scared.
Well, I mean, filming something is scarier than watching a movie because there's a lot more pressure. Like nowadays, like I watch horror movies like when I'm trying to fall asleep because it's like relaxing. And then making a horror movie, that's scary.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that I mean I know that well, we talked about this on my show, but I I think about influences and stuff, and is yours isn't a period piece though, is it? It's supposed to be in the now.
It's modern day.
It's modern day.
I think that was something we talked about too, is that Fang was actually filmed before the pandemic, like literally a month before the pandemic, and the movie, what it's about, ended up unintentionally mirroring the pandemic, since Fang is about characters who are sick mentally and physically and are restrained to their house for a lot of the movie. So it ended up so if anything, Fang unintentionally predicted the pandemic before it happened.
With the hand sanitizer.
Yeah, hand sanitizer, surgical masks.
With hand
wow.
sanitizer.
And the Rat King wears a surgical mask too.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder so the thing about Stranger Things the first season, I wonder how much they knew what they wanted to do with the rest of the seasons.
Yeah, that's something I wonder too.
Some of it played out like that's exactly what they were expecting, but then some of it didn't. I didn't think that, honestly, I didn't think that season 2 jived real well.
Mhm.
But after that, I thought, boy, I love this. And honestly, Isabel, you mentioned this earlier, that Russian stuff in the second and third. Well, it's actually, I guess it was in the third or the fourth, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Holy crap. I love that, because the Cold War, to me, I mean, we actually thought Russia's going to bomb us any day,
Well, people think that now too.
Well, yeah, and
it's a Cold War part 2.
It is. It really is. Yeah, there's a lot of bad blood that's never been settled. So,
Yeah.
Well, I can kind of relate to that, since my grandpa on my dad's side was born in eastern Poland, near the border with Ukraine. So, and he lived in Russia itself briefly. So in my family, it's kind of like both sides of that divide, being American, but also Eastern European. And there's a big cultural difference, even for the more westernized countries like, Poland and Ukraine. It's definitely different from like, what how Americans would think about a lot of things. And there are still a lot of big rivalries in Eastern Europe. Like my mom went on a trip to the Balkans recently, and
Oh,
it's kind of
wow.
crazy how they have all of these different countries, when they were fighting each other like 20 or 30 years ago.
Mhm.
So it's a very interesting subject, and it does add to like the realism and Stranger Things to have Hopper get sent to the gulag. That's like
Yes.
the real life Vecna
Yes.
upside down world.
Yeah. And when they ended the third season, I thought Hooper would come back with powers like 11. That's what I was thinking, For me, it was a surprise that he didn't have powers. Because the way
He
they
just got
ended,
screwed.
yeah,
Yeah.
the way
Yeah.
they ended, he survived that. He didn't die. So I was thinking he would have certain powers, that would be cool to see somebody else with powers besides her, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Not everybody gets that lucky to get extra powers.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting too, because I kind of understood from the first, well, and they really went, so we talk about the first episode, we are the first season, we saw where 11 was special, and that she basically was taken further than anybody else because of that. And I think, and I kind of wondered that myself for the end of the third season. I was thinking that I wonder how he's going to come back. I wonder if he's going to be even physically changed.
Yes.
And
Like a Hulk or something,
Yeah, but I don't think he was. I think he was lucky, like kind of what Richard was kind of alluding to. He's kind of lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
Even though he was like transferred, he's lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, and I really think that they did a good job of tying those the season 1 and season 2 to, or excuse me, season 4 together, and making you think, because I know when I'm watching season 4, I'm thinking I need to go back and watch season 1 because there's some stuff I want to get right with my head and about this show. So
Yeah.
Oh, he says, I think Issa, you've seen the whole thing several times.
No, not the whole.
Not the whole thing.
No, I've seen all the seasons, but not that many. Several times, yeah. But the last season, I really like.
Yeah.
I can tell you that I probably have seen that one more
Oh
times.
yeah, we've seen it together a few times.
Yeah, I really like the last one, and I can't wait for the season 5.
and
Okay, we're definitely
the
going to
fifth
do
one.
another
Yeah.
episode of Cinesin about Stranger Things after it's all done.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that.
And
Now,
that's definitely a very fitting 80s song for this. It's the final countdown.
hey, that's good.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
Because now it feels like they're all gonna be the same world. Like the upside down comes to the real world. There should be more action going on.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard? Is it supposed to be the wrap up of Stranger
Yes.
Things? Okay. We'll find out about Will. I'm not feeling good about Will. I'll just tell you that right now.
Yeah. Me neither. Maybe one of them is gonna die. I don't know. That's another theory.
Yeah. Yeah, and man, it's just like so many thoughts about what could happen. So many with thoughts.
And everybody was so sad that Eddie died. Nobody
Yes.
wanted him to die.
No, I thought, yeah, nobody wanted him to die, and he's a really good actor. He was in a movie called Overlord, which is a World War II movie, kind of about zombies. If you've not seen it, the guy's, I couldn't believe it was him because he looked so young in in season 4. I didn't realize it was the same guy, but yeah. It's really hard to not talk about all the episodes or all the seasons, right? Because they're so
But we
linked.
end up going all over the place when we have these discussions, like our Carrie episode, which was posted on the date of us recording this. We just ended up talking about the education system for the second half of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Just got totally away from Carrie.
yeah. I think no, it's not totally away because we
Not
were
totally
talking about,
away.
the school, the teenagers,
That's
and
true.
then it ended up.
Then you
Yeah,
we were like, wait, why is it like this? Why is high school like this?
yes.
So was your high school experience, do you think that when you watched Carrie, was it different? I'm not saying that people did mean things to you, but and then there's always mean girls, but are there mean, I mean, anywhere you go, there's mean girls, I guess.
Yeah, probably. I
Yeah.
mean,
It is.
well, it's kind of disturbing, and that was something we said, is that it's disturbing how relatable Carrie is now, even though the movie is like nearly 50 years old now, but
Yeah.
it still really doesn't seem that different from how it is in high school. Like, I mean, the hair is different, and the music is different, and there's like less cigarette smoking.
You're
That's
right.
the main
Yeah.
differences.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there was and that's one thing that I'm going to say that there's a lot of things that were going on in the 70s that were horrible that weren't
Yeah.
featured. And you don't want to feature that stuff. There was a lot of just, well, you mentioned, the serial killers and stuff, but I think nowadays, and sometimes I get a little bit I miss it just because, like when I when I was a kid, I would get on my bike in the morning and I wouldn't come home till the lights went, the light came on outside. My
Well, that's
mom,
like Stranger Things.
yeah, exactly. But now every kid has a phone. Every kid is
yeah.
connected. You can't get away from that, So
Yeah. I didn't have a phone until I was a teenager. So
No, I didn't either. I got mine when I was 16, my first one.
yeah.
I
But
didn't
we
get
had
mine
no
until I was like,
phones.
We were
I
the
w-
last phoneless generation.
No, yeah, I
Yeah.
remember calling my parents from the paid phones. There was a lot of paid phones in the streets. Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of people don't even know about payphones. The only thing they know is the TARDIS, is a phone booth.
Oh yeah. Well, in London, they still have the old phone booths for tourists
Yeah.
because it's like iconic to have like the police box or the red
Mhm.
phone
Yeah.
booth. And tourists want to take selfies in there when they go to London, so they kept it
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. And ours didn't look that nice, so they got rid of them all. So
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes
ours weren't
sense.
very iconic.
Yep.
Can you hear me? It just said I was
Yeah, I can
turned
hear
down.
you.
It's just the sirens here.
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay.
always sirens in Chicago.
Yes, it's crazy,
Yeah, that's the Chicago soundtrack.
Yep.
So do you live in the city proper then?
I do. We both do.
Yeah, we do.
Oh yeah,
So there's always something going on, especially
especially in my neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah.
Isabella's a little bit further north.
So you're kind of missing. You kind of want to live more in like a Hawkins, Indiana, right? So where
Well, if you have kids, then you want to raise them in the
Unfortunately,
suburbs.
It is more calm.
In Stranger
you
Things
know,
country.
it is.
yeah, except for all the monsters in the Upside Down, it's pretty nice here in Indiana.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we we
Next
deal
time
with
we
it.
go to the dunes, we'll think of Stranger Things.
There you go. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just like a really long beach, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It is.
But
it
it's like
is.
mountains of sand.
Yeah, we did the hiking. It's beautiful. One part of it reminded me Vegas a little bit.
Like the
Wow.
desert.
Yeah.
Okay, like the
Because of all
desert.
the
Yeah.
sand.
No, because those that kind of like a dune, like a river.
Oh,
like a
yeah.
river, remember?
Oh yeah, I remember the little creek.
Yes.
That was cool.
Yeah.
It does feel like being in the desert a little bit when you have all of the sand, which is very unusual scenery for the Midwest.
It is.
Yes.
And that was something Issa got to see when we went to the Midwest Monster Film Fest in Davenport. She got to see a lot of cornfields in rural
Oh,
Illinois.
The corn is delicious in here.
Lots of corn.
Yep.
Now, I'm sure you had corn where you used to live, Brazil.
Yes, but it's not sweet corn.
It's not
That's
Illinois or
an
Indiana
American
corn.
thing. Yeah.
Oh,
Tastes like
okay.
nothing over there. And I tried corn at other places too. In Istanbul, it doesn't taste like anything. So the
Wow.
corn is really good. Yeah.
You got to get corn from where it's grown in the
It's
Midwest.
sweet corn is really good.
There you go. Corn on the cob. You can't beat it.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of childhood.
Yes. Yeah. Well, speaking of corn, and we're getting around the Halloween season. I know this isn't kind of the right topic, but there's a thing they do in Indiana. It's called corning. Now, I used to live in Illinois. I used to live in Effingham, just down, south
I've
central.
driven through there before.
Oh yeah, it splits the country actually. And anyway, it's called corning, where they take handfuls of corn and they throw at your house.
That's like egging, only with corn.
Yeah, well, I
That's
will tell you
interesting.
this: I'd rather be corned than egged.
That's a lot better.
Definitely.
A lot less to clean up. I guess it makes a really loud racket when it hits your house, but we didn't hear it. So we, in our house, when I opened the garage, I said, "What's all this corn out here?"
That's funny. Well, I would want to eat it if it didn't fall on the ground.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it was so they use feed corn. They don't use the good stuff, but they use feed corn. It's all that
That
dried.
makes sense.
Yeah. So that's something they would probably do in Hawkins, as corn people. But it'd been great if they'd had that in the movie, or the
Oh, that would
series.
be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, there's still time in the last season. In fact, it doesn't destroy everything first.
Mhm.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. I think they did a good enough job in the first one that I watched the second one and didn't care for it, and I still watched the third and fourth one, and I was glad I did. So I
Oh,
think
yeah.
they really captured me in the first one. They did it
Definitely.
right.
It does feel very absorbing once you get sucked into this world, and it's the good combination of being like the alien and the familiar,
Mhm.
and definitely familiar for anybody who grew up in this kind of setting, or anyone who grew up watching it.
Yeah.
This kind of setting on TV in Brazil, it does have that kind of familiarity mixed with these aliens intruding into the familiar world.
Oh yeah, and Dungeons and Dragons, definitely. Everybody that like that during your childhood will like Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. And I mean, that's what they were playing. That's why I love that, because we played quite a bit of Dungeons and Dragons when I was younger, in the 70s and 80s. So
Yep.
so it really had that very authentic feel. I really enjoyed that.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, not as many monsters, but
Still
still felt
Dungeons
pretty
and
authentic.
Dragons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, this is a great podcast. This is a great springboard for talking about a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, there's always more things to talk about. Yeah.
We
Oh,
covered
yeah.
a lot of ground. It's good.
We did.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you asking me to be part of this. This has been a blast. I've just had
Well,
I've
thank
had
you.
so
You're
much
always
fun.
welcome to come back on.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anytime you want.
There's so
Well-
many movies we can talk about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and just when we were talking about Stranger Things, all these other movies and stuff keep coming up, and it brings me back to other things, so there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not to be a spoiler for your next one, do you guys have something scheduled, or do you maybe you don't want to say it over the podcast?
For our next podcast.
What your next movie might be?
Yeah, we are thinking about Halloween classics.
Oh yeah.
Let's just give it.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
that's
have
it.
thinking because yes, it's
'Tis the
And,
season.
and
it's a
Isa's
time
very
year.
cute, but she loves to watch creepy movies with me.
Oh,
You gotta
yeah.
love that. Now,
Yeah.
did you watch him before you met Richard, or?
Yes, yes. I remember in my teenager years, I watched a whole bunch of horror films. Me and my best friend, we love it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, very
And she
good.
was not alienated by me talking about Fang on her first date.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
this is intriguing.
We talked about it. I was like, wow, he's really focused on that. It sounds good.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But I love all the movies. I mean, many types of films
Oh,
in
yeah.
general. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's something that brings us together is, and that's probably why
Passion for
we
movies.
created this podcast
Yeah.
because we spent a lot of time talking about movies before we started recording it.
Yeah. I really like science fiction.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Stranger Things is science
is
fiction.
sci-fi.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it has a little bit of everything. There was a lot of action in that last season. I had a lot of action, especially with him and in the gulag. That was awesome.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Yeah.
friggin' love that stuff. It was great.
Oh yeah. It's like sci-fi meets horror meets teen show meets
Mhm.
gulag
Action,
docudrama.
Yeah.
meets historic documentary. No, just kidding.
Oh yeah, kind of.
It's there though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're good.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Nice to
It
have
was-
you, Patrick.
That was wonderful to have you on the show, Patrick. You're
Yeah.
welcome to come back anytime.
Absolutely. That sounds great. Absolutely, that sounds great. I definitely want to sometime. This has been a blast. So you guys are a lot of fun to talk movies with.
Oh, thank you. You are too.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so bye, Cinesinners. If you like us, give us a thumbs up and spread our creepiness to friends and family. Bye.